It was surgery day. I went in and checked in the hospital, got ready in my bed, and I'm waiting for the anesthesiologist to come in and the surgeon to come in. They both come in. They both ask their questions, see if I have any questions, and then I was given an IV and a nasal spray. Just put in 2 of these on each side. That was not fun. Suck it up. I had to do 2 in each nostril to help like decrease bleeding. That's what the nasal spray was for during surgery. It's awful. Nasal spray was not fun, so I was looking forward to the anesthesia starting so that I could be done with that nasal stinging feeling in my nose just from the nasal spray. Anesthesiologist came in, he gave me some drugs through my IV. Then I basically just don't remember anything from the time I was sitting in the hospital bed to the time I was in recovery after that.
You okay?
In recovery, I remember that I was like really cold and they gave me warm blankets, but I didn't feel any pain. Then I was taken home. I remember walking in and I don't know if it was because I was trying to walk again or why, but I like threw up right as soon as I came home. I was basically taken to bed and that's where I was for the next week of my life. I was told that recovery was going to be 2 to 3 days, maybe, and it depends on the person, but it wasn't 2 to 3 days. 1 week it was for me. When I was 5 days in and still like thinking this is the worst day ever, every day, then I'm thinking, when is this ever gonna end? It wasn't until they removed the stents from my nose that I felt like I was getting better at all. To remove the stents, he looked in my nose and he found, I guess there's a stitch that's attached to the front of the stent into the front of your nose right here. So he snipped the stitches on both sides and then he got these plier things and he pulled out the one. Oh, and it ended up being a lot bigger than I thought it was. I mean, I don't know. I only saw this little teeny thing, which by the way, you only can see the stent just a little bit, like in the back of your nose, but not if you're like looking at a person. They can't really see anything inside of your nose. Something I was surprised about right after my surgery is that I could still breathe through my nose. I was kind of under the impression that you couldn't breathe through your nose for like a full week. I was a little nervous that I was going to be a mouth breather for a full week. I'm trying to think of things that were most comforting to me after surgery when I was recovering. Jamba juices were my favorite, or like just a smoothie. Having a humidifier right next to me, just like blowing in my face. I liked that. Just nothingness for a week would be helpful. I liked it quiet. I have 6 kids, so having it be quiet was really hard. It was quiet when they were at school. And when they came home, I don't think I've noticed how much my kids scream, how much my dog barks, or how much my kids practice piano than this week because it was loud. I'm in the other room and I'm thinking, oh my gosh. My ears just hurt. I told my husband, I think I have like an ear infection. My ears just like hurt so bad. And he's like, well, your sinuses, like this is all connected and makes sense that your ears hurt. Noise canceling headphones, I tried those while my ears were hurting really bad. I kind of feel like I want my money back because those didn't cancel enough. If you have kids and you're recovering from surgery, then just know, even when you ask them to ask dad all their questions, they'll still come to you. If your eyes are closed, it doesn't matter. They're gonna ask you anyways. They must think you're pretending. Keep your door locked. Your lips are really close to your nose. My husband thought he was gonna be really sweet and give me a kiss while I was recovering. And he like kissed me and bumped my nose and I'm like, I just had surgery on my nose. Yeah, so if you can stay away from my nose, that'd be good. I didn't really do a ton of pain medication the first few days, but I did notice as the days were going on that my pain wasn't necessarily like pain. It was more like creeping agitation. Like I felt like my skin was felt like this. It was kind of like on edge. Yeah, I would say it was on edge. and tired all the time. Wanted to stay in bed all the time, basically go up to go to the bathroom, get something to eat, and then just go back to bed because that's like all you feel like doing after the surgery. I felt like I was not a capable person during recovery. I can't really remember like day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I remember day 5 just because that's the day that I felt like everything hurt in my ears. Like everyone was too loud. But all the other days, it's just like one sleeping day to another sleeping day. They all seem like they just mesh together. You say it's day 5 of recovery and it's like, I thought it was 2 to 3 days of recovery. No. I learned that I'm really good at sleeping. I didn't know I could sleep so much. Getting up to get something to eat, go to the bathroom, and then get back to bed, I felt like that was enough work for one day. So I didn't really accomplish much. Actually, I did work on my computer, just like mindless editing of pictures and moving things around on my computer. Nothing that required reading, nothing that really required thought, just stuff that I do a lot on my computer, so it didn't take much brain power. I do think though that when I worked on my computer, it kind of made me not realize how tired I was, which is a good and a bad thing. I think I worked on my computer to the point where I was so exhausted and so irritated that it was like hard for me to go to sleep, which is kind of weird. So I basically just had to like close my eyes and just rest my body instead of actually feeling like I was falling asleep. Seriously, as soon as they took the stents out of my nose, I was like feeling like an entirely different person. What is it like to get the stents out? Put my head back against the chair, and he ended up clipping the first stitch on the one side and the second stitch on the other side, and then he got some plier things and he pulled out the first one and a bunch of yuck came out. I didn't look at it, I was closing my eyes, but I could feel it. And then he put it on the tray, and then he went in and grabbed the other one. Basically this giving birth out of your nose, but not painful. It was just like a weird experience, something coming out of your nose. He gets both of them out, then you can breathe better. My body was like, yes, I can finally breathe. Everything changed as soon as the stents came out. Stents are basically these big flaps that are in your nose, keeping everything up where it's supposed to be. And so those flaps are gone, so your body can like go back to normal. I would not go longer than a week to get those stents out. We were having like scheduling issues, and scheduler was thinking we were gonna have to go longer to get the stents out. I kept asking to see if we could, the 1 week mark. And I think as soon as the stents are out, then you're just gonna feel so much better. 1 week and 1 day out, and I am wearing makeup again. Here we go. Not that that's like a huge benchmark. I feel like it's an accomplishment. It's little things in life. I'm so glad the recovery time has come to an end and that I'm feeling so much better. Just don't touch my nose. Did you just boot my nose? Why would you do that? Don't touch my nose. Keep hanging in there. You can do this. 1 week. There is hope. It'll be over. Get those stents out. You'll be fine.